Alright, this is the transfer of my Cyriopagopus schioedtei, who I've named Lurch. He's the biggest tarantula I've got. I just did a transfer of my HMAC. He's a little guy. It went pretty smooth. So this one's a little bigger. Getting him into the little vial may be a bit of a challenge. But we're going to start the same way. I'm going to take the top off. And you can see he has really webbed this thing up well. So he's not going to be happy. I'm going to remove the pieces that he has in there. I mean, wow. They are in there good. Actually, this whole thing kind of wants to come up and out. And I'm not sure where he is. He's in here somewhere. I just can't believe the strength of this webbing. And the fact that I'm not sure where he's at, so that makes this a little trickier. I'm going to have to try to break this apart a little bit. My goodness. Now I see him. He's exited out, finally. I don't know if you can see him, but he's right there. Just touched him. I want to kind of get him off this hole. He has really wrapped this up. So the idea is to just gently get him to go off of it, and that's it. Look at that. That's what he's put together here. Tied that all together into one. I'm just going to set that on there because I got to take care of this, but I mean, look at that. That's all the dirt and webbing and branches all tied together. So let me clean this up and then I'll move him. Alright, I've put his stuff that I've cleaned up back into his new house. Now this one's going to be a little bit smaller for him, but supposedly they're fine with that. They don't mind the small area. I'm going to take our container again. Didn't get to drill the hole out because I forgot. My father borrowed my drill, so I don't have it. And we're going to put this in here. Let's see. And we're going to try to gently guide him in there. So hopefully you can see him there. And we're going to see if we can guide him into the container with just a... Come on, buddy. Well, he is good size. He might be bigger than I thought. Oh, you're falling down into there. Alright. Like I said, he's a little bigger, so the idea of getting him into this container is a little more difficult, because he's got to get his big old body in there, and I've got to try to direct him that way. Easy, buddy, come on. So he's not real aggressive, you can see that. You know, he's not really going after anything here, but he also isn't working to get into this cup at all. So I got to reposition him in here, get him maybe away from the wall. Come on, buddy. And he's being very gentle. He's not attacking. But you got to get those two front legs into the container. That's what has to happen. And if they get their two front legs in, they'll put their whole body in. So you want them to kind of see this as a like a tunnel for them to go into. And he's not really seeing it that way, so I'm going to have to try to get him to see it that way. Oops. I don't even like doing this because that's disruptive to them. I'm destroying the home he's made for himself over the last couple of weeks. Now we're just going to try to direct you right in there, buddy, right in there, right in there. Look at that, he doesn't want to go in. Come on. We're almost in there. Almost in. Thought I might have had him there. But I did not. Alright. So let's try to direct him again. Come on, buddy. Nice and easy, right in there. There you go. There you go. See, get the first two legs in. And usually the rest will go. Now hopefully he doesn't decide to back out of this as I start to lift it. Alright, so there he is. That was a success. Took a little bit longer because he's bigger, he didn't want to get in there. Now we're going to work him out and hopefully easily down into his new home. He's kind of in the in here the wrong way. And so that's going to be the challenge right there, because I've got to get him kind of turned around. He's very gentle, it seems, at least at this size. Not very aggressive at all. He seems in good health, good shape. You can see him right there. He's good size. Now he's starting to maybe get where I could get him to turn around. So let's see. Come on. Now he's kind of scrunched up in there. This is where the hole in the end would have really come in handy, because I could have just gotten something to go on. He's going to really learn not to like the paintbrush. Well, let me pause for a second while I figure out what else I can do to get him out of there. Well, what I decided to do, it's difficult getting him out of there. I don't want to keep prodding him with the paintbrush. The health of the tarantula is much more important than capturing him coming out of there on video. So I'm going to leave the vial in there. Hopefully he'll make his way out of there on his own, and then I can pull the vial out and he'll be in his new home. But I mean, he's just wedged in the bottom pretty well there. He doesn't want to move, and to get him off of there, I could injure him. So I'm not going to take the chance of doing that. So I'm just going to close this up, and when he comes out, I will get a video that he's out in his new enclosure for you. But we'll let him come out at his own pace rather than force him. And that's just a good thing to remember for anybody that's a beginner. You know, don't force the tarantulas. In a case like that where he's wedged in there, the only way for me to get him out is to kind of really pry him with the paintbrush, and you're just going to hurt him, possibly even kill him. So that's not the goal, obviously. We want healthy, happy tarantula, so we'll let him come out on his time at his pace, and then I'll take the vial out of there. Well, everyone, about an hour and a half's gone by. He finally came out of the enclosure. In fact, he was just up on these branches here before I disturbed him. Now he's right down there next to that white piece of wood. I'm going to pull this out, and then he is set on his own. And we're good to go. So he is all set in there, right there. So successful. I got to tell you, I was really worried that maybe I'd hurt him. So this is a good example of us learning together. I was very gentle with him with the paintbrush, moving him around. Just touched him very slightly, but even doing that, because I've never done this before, I worried maybe I'd hurt him. He wouldn't come out. He was kind of crunched up in there, but I gave him time and he came out on his own. So just be very gentle with them always. You don't want to end up prying them out with the paintbrush like I would have had to do to get them out of there. Just set the container in there and let them come out on their own. So another success. Very happy. Both of the arboreals are transferred.